Greetings once again, my fellow Star Trek fans. I'd like to welcome you to another video, and this is going to be about Star Trek, my favorite subject. Today's subject matter is going to be the USS Enterprise. No, not this graceful, beautiful lady. However, we're going to be looking at the Enterprise D from Star Trek, The Next Generation. And we're going to be looking in particular at the XL from Eaglemoss. I've shown you the gold Enterprise in the past, and I've shown you the regular XL Enterprise D. What I want to do today is I'm going to show you the differences, and we're going to compare the gold as opposed to the regular XL issue release. So my friends, why don't we go over to the desk where there's more room and there's more light, and we'll take a look at Eaglemoss's XL version, the USS Enterprise NCC-1701-D, in the regular and in gold. Okay, so when it comes to the XL version of the Enterprise D, we've got the Star Trek. You can see a picture of the finished model. And let's take a look. We'll put the gold one aside for a minute. Let's see, this came out in, I want to say 2000, this is 2019, this release. This is from Eaglemoss, and we have the Enterprise D, and this is the finished model. And then we have the model that was released, the gold edition. And you can see the box is totally different. It's got that magnetic flip on the flip cover, and you can see we have all of the starships on the side of the box. It looks like we got the D, we got the Voyager, we got the NX-01 on the bottom, we got the Klingon battle cruiser. Looks like we got the Enterprise E, the B, the C, the A, and the NCC-1701. They do have a version of this release with this special edition box that they had for the Enterprise D. Unfortunately, I don't have that one, but I do have it with this version, with the gold edition. So let me put the gold edition aside for a minute, and we're going to take a look at the regular finished Enterprise model. Let's see, we open up the box, and we have the styrofoam insert to keep it safe. And we get the little goalpost kind of base. And let's see, the base on this one, USS Enterprise NCC-1701-D Special 1337-AE 2019. So let's take the base out of the plastic, and the base is pretty easy to put together. Basically, you get the little notches that face forward, you put it in, and just like that, the base is finished. So looking at the ship herself, let me take it out of the box, and what I'll do is we'll put the box aside. All right, let's show you guys the beautiful NCC-1701-D Galaxy class starship. You can see all the, let me put the light on, you might see it a little bit better. You can see all the escape pods, and they look to be like a tannish or a beige color. And you can see the transporter arrays. You can zoom in, you can see the bridge, B and C decks. And as we come around to the back, you can see Shuttle Bay 1, Shuttle Bay 2, and Shuttle Bay 3 on the back of the dorsal hull. And we have the impulse engines. Going back, you can see the nacelles. And they got it in translucent plastic where you can see the light passing through it. You see the Bussard collectors. Back to where the torpedo launcher is. And again, you can see the phaser arrays that she has on different parts of the ship. We got to see these in action in Star Trek Picard Season 3. You can also see the phaser array on the bottom, just below, behind the deflector dish. Going up to the bottom of the primary hull, you can see the captain's yacht and all the windows. And again, I hope you can see the Aztecing. Beautiful. Very nice model. And this is the XL version from Eaglemoss. And it's pretty simple. If you want to put it into the base, what you do is you bring it up like this, and there are little notches in the bottom of the base that's going to hold it in place. And then the little, almost like claws, you got to make sure they're both in there. And the little, almost like a V, it goes right into the back of the primary hull to keep it on the stand. Just like that. Alright, let's put this aside for a minute. And I want to show you guys, in contrast, we're going to look at the gold. And the gold version comes with the Starship Collection book. And it gives you a little bit of information on the Enterprise D. Now, I did do a video specifically for this ship, if you want to check it out. In my Gold Enterprise collection, I have a playlist of my Gold Enterprises, and I do go through the book in detail. We go over everything, and I show you the different designs and sketches. So if you want to check out that video, this one does come with a book. This one did not come with the book, but there is a version of this one in the collector box that also has the book. So let's put this in the background. We have the foam, and then you see the beautiful Enterprise gold. And again, we have the field goal holder. And we got the base. Let's see, on the bottom of this base, it's USS Enterprise NCC-1701-D Special. And this one is 0388-AA, and this came out in 2020. So let's get this and set this up. This one's a little different, whereas the hole is right in the middle of the base. And you put this in, just like that. Alright, let's put this aside for a moment, and let me show you guys the beautiful NCC-1701-D Gold XL Edition. They do have the smaller versions available in gold, but I got the XL, and look at this. Look how beautiful. You can see all the escape pods, the bridge, B and C decks. As we head around, going to Shuttle Bay 1 and Shuttle Bay 2 and 3. And you can see the impulse engines, the dorsal hull coming all the way back to where the photon torpedo launcher would be for the aft end. And we have the pylons. And looking underneath the deflector dish, and again you can see the captain's yacht. Beautiful. And to put this in, we're going to pretty much do the same thing. Here are these little notches that are going to hold the bottom of the secondary hull. And what you do is you just slide it forward, and just like that, it goes in to the stand. So we're going to take a look at the differences, and I think what I'll do is I'll take you off the tripod. Okay, zooming in, we'll look at the bridge, B and C decks. on the primary hull. And you can see the phaser array and all the escape pods. When we switch over to the finished model, we've got the bridge, B and C decks, and in addition to the escape pods, you can see the transporter emitters and the Aztecing. I think the Aztecing is so cool. And for a little model, the XL has a lot more detail on it. They look pretty nice. Look at that. She's very, very screen friendly when it comes to the Enterprise, as is the Gold Edition. So let's turn them around, and we're going to take a look at the starboard sides now of the ships. Let's switch them around. They don't really slide that great on the mat. Okay, so let's take a look at the starboard side of the finished model. Again, looking at all the windows. You can see the edges, the phaser array on top, going down to the secondary hull and the dorsal hull. And check out the Bussard collectors, going back to the nacelles, and again you can see all the Aztecing, registry markings, NCC-1701-D. Looking up at the secondary hull, you can see the phaser arrays all the way at the back where the torpedo launcher would be, and then you can see the shuttle bays and the impulse engines on the dorsal hull. Coming up, we have the Arboretum as we go to Shuttle Bay 1. And again, the detail on this Enterprise is pretty spectacular. You see the impulse engine on the primary hull. And again, she's very photogenic. All right, let's take a look at the starboard side of the Gold Enterprise now. Again, you can see all the detail, but everything is in a beautiful gold. You see the vents that are beyond, let's see, the C deck. Going back to where the Arboretum is, and Shuttle Bay 1, you can see Shuttle Bays 2 and 3 that are on the dorsal hull, back to where the impulse engines had come down, all the way back to where the photon torpedo aft launcher would be. And we have the, hopefully it focuses. Yeah. We've got the Bussard collector, and this would be the starboard nacelle. In beautiful gold. The details are still there, they're just not painted up like the model, the finished model. So let's zoom out and show you guys the starboard sides of the ships. Alright, now let's swing them around and we'll take a look at the aft end. There. Looking at the finished model, we'll zoom right into the Shuttle Bay 1. Looking down, you can see the name Enterprise right over the Arboretum. Coming down to the dorsal hull, we've got Shuttle Bays 2 and 3. Going down to the impulse engine, going all the way aft, you can see the phaser arrays on the bottom of the aft end of the secondary hull, along with the transporter emitters. And we have the nacelles, and look at the Aztecing on the nacelles, with all the Starfleet markings. We got the Delta logo. Beautiful. They did a really nice job on the model. So that's the finished model. Switching over to the Gold Edition, we do the same thing and zoom in and show you guys the shuttle bay 1, just aft of the bridge, B deck. And you can see, we can kind of make out the windows for the Arboretum. Coming down towards the back of the dorsal hull, we have shuttle bays 2 and 3, just above the impulse engines. And incidentally, the battle bridge would be just at the top part of the dorsal hull. Coming all the way back to the aft end, you can see the phaser arrays and the transporter emitters. And you can see the torpedo launcher. And you can see the nacelle pylons going up to the nacelles themselves. Beautiful, beautiful gold. Incidentally, I have shown you guys the NCC-1701 Gold Edition. I actually have 2 of those. One of those is just the regular Gold Edition, and the most recent one that I showed you guys was the William Shatner Signature Edition. And I do have the XL Enterprise NCC-1701 coming, and we'll do a comparison video for those 3 as well. So this is the aft end of the ship. I want to get them both in the shot. And it must be an optical illusion, but the Gold Edition looks a little bit smaller. I don't know if that's just the way the camera's making it look. A lack of detail, perhaps. So let's swing them around and I'll show you guys. We'll do a comparison of the port side. Be careful with these ladies. So the finished model, looking at the port side, again, look at all the windows, the phaser array, the Aztecing, and all the escape pods. We're doing the Build the Enterprise from Eaglemoss, now a fan home, and it seems like we've been doing 1,000,000 windows and lots of escape pods. So we go down to the dorsal hull, or the saucer pylon. You can see that they there's a little space where they kind of forgot to put the Aztecing all the way down. That's okay. She's still beautiful. Looking at the secondary hull, let's bring it around. We'll show you guys the deflector dish. Port Bussard collector. Going back, we'll see the port nacelle. Then the phaser array on the bottom, and the nacelle pylon with the registry markings. And look at all that Aztecing. So that's the port side. I'm going to zoom out for you guys. Port side of the finished model. So when we switch over and look at the Gold Edition, again, let's zoom in to the bridge. And it's a little harder for the camera to focus on that. There we go. We got all the escape pods, the phaser array. Going down. Hopefully you guys can make out the deflector dish. Hopefully it focuses. The secondary hull. Excuse my shaky hand. We're coming around. You can see the dorsal hull on the nacelle pylon. And we've got the port side nacelle, the port Bussard collector. Going back to the nacelle, you can see the windows on the secondary hull when the light hits it just right. Almost looks like they're lit up all the way to the back. Well, let's zoom out on this one. There we are. And these are the port side of the Enterprise DXL. So let's go ahead. We're going to do the front all the way forward. So looking at the model, You can try to picture where 10 forward would be, all the way in the front, the middle, coming into the bridge. Again, the detail in this is pretty wild. The registry markings, the transporter emitters, the phaser arrays, escape pods, and the windows going down. Hopefully the deflector dish can focus. I wonder if it'll make a difference with the light off. Let's see if it makes it a little bit worse. Yeah, that's better. Let's put the light back on. Looking at the bottom, up where the captain's yacht is. Sard collectors. Again, I apologize for it going out of focus. Maybe this will be a little bit better on this side. It's kind of the iconic shot right there. And that's the finished model forward. So checking out the gold, again, check out the bridge, B and C decks, transporter emitters. We got the phaser arrays down to the escape pods, coming down to the dish. We got the deflector dish. So let's zoom out a little bit and try to get that iconic shot underneath. Again, please forgive me for being unsteady with the camera. Zoom in or zoom out, excuse me. So those are the Enterprise D, NCC-1701-D, the XL versions. We've got the finished model, and we've got the gold edition. Like I said, I'm going to be doing the NCC-1701 XL. I've got the gold edition, I have the William Shatner signed edition, and I've got the regular finished XL model coming. And the XL model that I have coming is actually one with the magnetic flip box, so I'm looking forward to getting that. Well, my friends, I hope you enjoyed this quick little video and a comparison video of the XL release of the Eaglemoss U.S.S. Enterprise NCC-1701-D XL version. So until my next video, my friends, thank you so much for watching, and I'll talk to you soon.